doth not know. It sure is making a lot of noise. Yes, it is quite sketchy. Huh. Weird. Okay. All right, so where's my phone? Woohoo! Okay, I'm talking. Do we talk? Is it actually doing anything? I don't think it's actually saying. I don't think your audio is actually going to the stream. Why is it?
My audio is...
Okay, no, I mean, like, I can hear you, but I don't think it was actually going to the stream.
Oh, well, you're also dumb. Okay, is that any better?
Hold on.
So I changed my mic. It was not on my webcam because reasons.
Okay, there we go. I'm going to share this. Nope. God damn it, I don't want to be him. I don't want to be.
To be or not to be? That is not.
Switches over to my own one. And no, where the fuck did it go?
That is a famous question for all of us, sir.
I know, seriously.
All right, keep going, keep going. All right, a little bit more, a little bit more.
This one? Nope, that's not. What?
As far as I can go. All right, that's better though.
What the hell? All right, here we go. We go here. And then. Oh my god, I'm doing this like the wrong way.
But whatever. Is there a correct way? That is the real question.
I don't know. About to find out. Come on. Do. Huzzah. Okay. And it's 8 o'clock. Woohoo! I think we have everything going in the right direction now. I think. Guess we'll find out in a second.
If not, then the world may not come to an end.
Hold on. Let me pull up one more thing here. Alrighty. Here we go.
Where are we going?
We are going to hit record, and then we're going to actually do the show.
Sweet!
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Muting Zealeus, but for a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Just Yell to Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
It is good to see you again, good sir. It has been too long since I've seen tubes in my eyes.
Indeed, it has been very, very long, ladies and gentlemen. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again, finally, by the pelvic hummer himself, Zealeus. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed that we've basically had most of May off, and it was not by choice. It was simply because the Alter Confusion office was being basically put back together. New floor, new walls. Yeah, lots of fun
And
stuff.
is it all together now?
It is. It's still like a war zone down here. There's still furniture in random places, but you also notice that the background is a little bit. The wall behind me is a little bit closer because the desk has moved ever so slightly.
There's also something missing behind you.
Yes, the Funko Pops have not made it. Well, they have, but they haven't actually made it back into the basement. They are not on the shelves because the shelves aren't here right now. They're in the hallway. And so all the Funko Pops, all of them, are sitting in the downstairs closet. Strategically.
Wait, are you in the downstairs right now? I'm very confused.
Huh?
What, are you downstairs right now?
Yeah, I'm downstairs right now.
Okay, because you said they're in the downstairs closet, so it made it sound like it was in a different locale than the downstairs. That's what's confusing.
It's a closet that's next to me.
But they're not downstairs from where you're at now.
Correct. Yes, I
okay.
Too am downstairs.
Okay, this makes more sense.
Yes.
I'm very much unconfused.
There you go. All right. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, as we do these Thursday Hangouts, you're going to notice that the background is going to morph a little bit because stuff is going to start coming back. Apparently, my computer did not like the fact that we took so much time off, and I had to do some triage to get the capture card working again. Okay. I had to dust off another webcam because the webcam that was connected to the computer has decided that it has a mind of its own now and is randomly turning itself off and on. So we're on an older webcam, but I can't really see a difference.
Your notes still look so beautiful, so it's all good.
There you go. So anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thursday Hangouts, a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any point during the show, if you have any topics, questions, opinions, thoughts that you would like to share with the class, please do so by dropping it in the chat, be it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. It has been a long time, so we do have I don't want to say a laundry list, but we have a pretty good size list of topics to cover. The first thing that I do want to talk about, though, is that for the first time, I think since COVID, and then even before COVID, Alter Confusion did not do a Thursday night hangout at about this regular Thursday. And that is because, ladies and gentlemen, it is MomoCon time, happening at the Georgia World Congress Center down in downtown Atlanta. For the first time in many years, Alter Confusion is not down there in any shape or form.
I was thinking about that today as I was walking to take out my trash of all things.
Yeah.
But like, instead of walking to my garage compactor, I should be walking the floors of the vendor hall and seeing panels. And I'm saddened. So my reason is different from Charlie's. Mine is I'm going on a cruise. So I will physically not be here, unable to attend.
Yeah.
But it turns out parlaying a vacation into Memorial Day weekend saves you basically a day of PTO.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you are either at MomoCon or you're headed that way, have a lot of fun. Tell us about it. I know that there's quite a few game developers that we've hung out with in the past that are running some of their games, and I know that there's also a lot of people that usually are at MomoCon that aren't at this MomoCon this year. So it's kind of like a mixed bag.
I wonder, because I remember last year when we came on, I think I came on. Was it Thursday?
Last year was the one-off. So it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Okay, so yeah, we came on Friday, and I just remember the line was long.
Yep.
Like it was nuts.
Yep.
And like it wasn't like later in the day; it was like early. So I wonder how the line is doing this year?
I want to know how, if they changed up how to get into the vendor hall, because that first day or the first 2 days, there was like that log jam that had people passing out because
That's right,
people were
because they did it
squished.
last year where you had to walk all the way down
Yep.
the entire length of the wing
Yep.
in order to go down. And like, I know I talked about this last year, but just kind of rehashing. It kind of sucked because like you'd wait in line, but it was like this weird amoeba amorphous. So people would get down there, not realize what was actually going on,
Yep.
and just kind of morph into the line. So like, it just kind of was a very awkward crowd controlled type of situation.
Yes.
Because every year previous that we've been, it was like that elevator very early on. It was, I don't remember the line really ever being an issue. That's what was interesting.
I think they wanted to try to keep everybody. I don't know. There was something weird going on, and so they wanted you to go as far away as possible, so that you would have to come all the way back.
I guess.
Well. Yes. Anyways, all right. Let's talk about the bajillion and 97 things that seem to be going on since last we did this show. First off, let's talk about the game industry in general, and that is unfortunately, it's not good news, ladies and gentlemen. It's not good news at all.
So you're saying it's the destruction of the game industry
as we know it. And as much as I would,
let's do our normal MobileCon podcast right now.
I know that was that the destruction of the game industry as we know it is the panel that Zealeus and I or Jesse or Blaine or insert someone else, some other co-host did, and that of course we morphed that into video games changing for the good ? And we also had, I don't know if we ever did it at MomoCon, but we did it at other conventions. That, of course, is, so you finished your indie game, now what?
I remember definitely doing that at Canuga with you.
Yeah, we've definitely done that at Con-Nuga.
Whatever.
I don't. Yeah,
I know.
anyway.
I'm never going to say it right at this point. We're never going to. It really doesn't matter.
We also did it at another convention that disappeared. Or a convention that disappeared, called MonsterCon.
Oh, shit.
And we did that at Tillman Arena in Furman.
We didn't do that the one I went to, though, I think, did we?
I don't... I
know we did.
That was the Hotbox one, right?
What?
Was that the Hotbox one?
Yeah, we definitely did one. I know that for sure.
I think we just did Video Games Changing for the Good, ? I believe.
Yeah, I know we definitely did that one because I remember people actually came because there was nothing to. I mean, our panels are actually usually pretty well attended, but that one there was like literally nothing else to do.
Yeah. It was like it was a bigger opened air area. It was not open air, but there was less heat getting trapped in that one panel.
It was like this one awkward room, like just wasn't
strange
even like
box wall.
Yeah, thank you. It was just a box wall. It was like the only one there to go to. So it's like we're going to go here and maybe not die heat stroke.
There you go. Yes, exactly. All right. So let's talk about video games in general. And the first bit of, or the many different companies are sadly closing their door or laying off tons of employees. For example, just in case you guys have been living underneath a rock, I'm sure that if you are a gamer, you've probably heard that EA cut around 300 jobs, and 100 of them were at Respawn. And Respawn was in the process of creating a new Titanfall game, and that has been canceled. And there is a rumor that says that the 300 jobs that were cut is only the beginning. So it's unfortunate for a lot of reasons. One, there was some hype starting to build up about a new Titanfall game. Titanfall 1 was like monumental. 2 kind of fell through the crack, but had started to become kind of like this cult following. And then so you're going to have a new one, but no more. That new one has gone bye-bye.
I have Titanfall 2 in my inventory. I need to play it because I've heard the single player campaign for Titanfall 2 is apparently amazing.
Yes.
I just need to play. I definitely did not get it for multiplayer.
No.
But when it's on sale for like $4, I'm like, sure, I'll buy it for the single player campaign. I just need to actually play it.
Do I actually have that in mind? As well? I might.
It's like sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, this game is on sale. You should get it." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, I already have it with 0 unplayed hours. That's unfortunate."
Nope, I don't have Titan. That's one of the few games I apparently do not have in my inventory. Anyways, so sad news for EA and the companies underneath EA. If you've been hit by this, I hope that you land on your feet and find a new job in the very, very near future.
Unfortunately, in this job market,
not going to happen. But I can hope and pray for all those individuals
agreed.
who are affected.
I mean, I say that it just kind of sucks. I feel bad because, especially right now as a software engineer, developer, coder, programmer, whatever you call yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a not fun job market. And with all of our fun U.S. economy things going on, it's not going to get any better.
All right, so let's talk about some more layoffs, shall we?
Oh, great.
If you are a gamer, you probably get your news from a website, I'm assuming.
No,
I hope.
No. Don't talk about it. Don't even talk
so
about it.
Let's talk about the fact that Polygon, one of the sites that I go to that I actually trust, has been sold, and upon the selling of this or purchasing of this company, it appears that it was hit with some massive layoffs. The senior vice president, who is also the founding editor-in-chief, made a statement on Blue Sky, which of course is the new thing if you no longer do X, or the artist formerly known as Twitter. And basically here, this is the statement. I'm just going to read it to you so that you can feel the pain this gentleman, who of course is Chris Grant, has gone through. It said, 14 years ago, I pitched what would become Polygon to a startup called Sports Blogs, Inc., on an unfurnished third floor of a DC townhome. I held a laptop on my knees and went through a deck. Today, that same company, now called Vox Media, sold Polygon to Valnet. Their press release proudly calls Polygon a premium gaming publication, but Valnet literally refused to meet with me or answer a single question of mine throughout this process. They were wildly and curious about how a gaming publication even becomes premium. I really, truly hope that the remaining Polygon team gets a chance to continue the work we all care about so much, but somehow this is the end of my journey with the thing I created. My most heartfelt thanks to the entire team. I'm so sorry things ended this way. Now, Polygon is still technically alive, but if you looked at most of, like, there's a lot of the senior reporters are reporting. I'll say more later, but I no longer have a job. I'm looking for work, as are so many of my amazing colleagues. I have lots of ideas and things I'd like to write. I'm really in shock. I had a great time working at Polygon. Please let me know if you have any cool job openings. And the unfortunate thing is that this is just 2 of the 20 staff members that got laid off, or at least 20 staff members.
Yeah, it sucks whenever that happens because inevitably the quality goes down. I always think of an old website I used to go to. I mean, this is at least 10 years ago now, called The Tech Report.
Uh-huh.
And it was a fantastic website for, like, especially on the hardware side, for like PC builder guides and other things.
Yep.
And then it got sold off and it just went to absolute total shit.
Yep.
And I just was checking. Apparently it still exists in some form or format. And that's always my legitimate fear with things like this is, Polygon right now might 12 articles. But at some point when you lose that soul of the company, especially something like game journalism, it's just going to lose what it had. There's just no way about it.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad because, like you, Polygon was one of the few gaming websites that I would still go to on a regular basis and kind of trust what they had and know that there was at least some passion for the industry.
Yes.
Versus just doing it because you're a faceless media conglomerate.
Well, I felt like Polygon was one of those places that was not, their writing was had actual like merit and facts to it. It wasn't being driven by the sponsors, which I fear having Valnet now as the owner of Polygon, that it will become more about what the sponsors want them to write about.
Where are we seeing that before?
So weird. Don't know.
And that always goes so, and as we see, especially like with review bombs, that goes very well from gamers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let me see. I'm looking at my list here. Is there any other layoffs here that I need to talk? Oh, yes. Let's talk about one more,
great.
shall we?
But wait, there's more.
There's more. How about this kick in the pants, okay? How would you like if you busted your balls on creating a new character for a game and literally 24 hours after your character that it's your baby gets revealed, you get fired?
I saw that. What game was that? I forgot.
Apex Legend. The writer now, of course, this is part of the EA layoffs.
Yep.
But and Apex Legends is made by Respawn, which was of course the same company that got the Titanfall canceled project. So, yeah. The name of the character is Sparrow, and the narrative designer, Heather Woodward, literally got to see it pop up and get excited about it and then get her walking papers within 24 hours.
Congratulations, you made your character. There's nothing left for you to do here.
Yes.
Yeah. It all around makes me sad.
And so literally, she sees it, and then this is her post after 24 hours. Well, this is awkward, but I was just mass downsized at Respawn. These things happen, and my time at Apex has been a top to bottom blast. My favorite job I've ever had. It's been a true joy to write Sparrow. I'll continue to be insufferable about him for weeks to come.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
But to be honest with you, that's not unheard of in the game industry, especially now where there's a lot of companies that literally build up a team and then they crush that team and kick most of the people out the doors these days once the game is there. And then you have like your support staff.
Yeah.
Testers are usually contractors at this point. Or they're
just early access gamers.
Yeah, that too. Well, yeah, you just put your game into early access and free. It's bug testers that are paying you to play the game.
There you go.
And they got to take it serious if they're paying for the game because they want their money's worth. So, yeah. Yeah, that sucks. I really feel for all the people in the industry right now. I wish that there was some magical thing to, if you fall off one company, you can jump into another one and have some sort of safety net. But unfortunately, it's not the case. It's mass hysteria.
It is. Yeah, mass hysteria is a good way of putting it.
So with all those people losing their jobs, let's talk about the fact that thanks to certain actions that that have occurred in the great U.S. of A. Let's talk about prices inflating. So yes. So let's start with we'll just talk about Microsoft real quick. Microsoft has basically issued a statement telling everyone, look, because of all the stuff that's happening, we are going to have to increase the price of our products. So I'm just going to.
I thought the country producing it was going to eat the cost of the tariffs, though. I'm very confused.
Yeah, that works real well. Anyways, so I'm just going to choose a couple of these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but let's just say the. Okay, here we go. How about the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition, which was $600, will now be $730.
Ouch. Okay, it's a pretty good chunk of an increase.
How about the Xbox Elite Wireless Control Series 2, the full version, not the core, but the full, was $180 and now $200.
Okay, 10% increase isn't the worst, I guess.
Yes. And then, of course, if you want the Xbox Series X digital, it was $450 and it is now going to be $550.
That feels worse. That's a bigger 10% increase.
Yes.
But it sounds painful, and it is painful.
And I've seen rumors. This is what
going.
Microsoft said. We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players. So I guess the moral of the story is get your Xbox Game Pass on all your different devices, and so you don't have to buy new devices.
Well, and I would also say if you are in camp PlayStation, if you don't already have one, buy one now.
Yes.
Because there have already been the rumors that that's going to increase in price too.
Oh, everything. Nintendo, the Switch 2 is definitely, well, getting one is going to be a job, and then the price is probably going to get jacked as well.
Well, we're already seeing the next tier of price increase for video games.
Yes, I think it's what, $70 or $80.
We're already seeing $70 games for AAA titles, because I think Avowed was $70 off the bat, and now I know that Borderlands 4 is supposedly going to be $80 off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we will start seeing $80 MSRP games in I think relatively short term. I know, great.
Yeah.
All the more reason for the tried and true Steam summer sale to just wait on that.
Yes. Steam once again coming out like heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it comes down to the question of, are you willing to wait? Because eventually a game's going to go on sale.
True.
It might take a couple of years. So, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Nintendo, let's talk about the fact that Nintendo has come out and said reserve the right to brick your console following unauthorized use.
You mean the console I own?
Yeah. So at any point, if they discern that you have unauthorized product, be it some kind of mod or a pirated software, they have the right to brick your system. And for those out there who are playing and don't know what bricking a system is, Zealeus will tell you.
So bricking means that your console is no longer playable. It's not a matter of you can do a reset or bring it to the store. It just don't work, which, to be clear, is unequivocally bullshit, because it's just a further continuation of the premise that we, the consumer, actually don't own anything. It no longer belongs to us. This, for all intents and purposes, means that your console does not belong to you, and Nintendo can now do whatever they want to it at any time. which to me is completely not cool and unfair to the consumer. It doesn't mean that just because you're opposed to it doesn't mean like you're a promoter of piracy or illegal things. It's just a matter of the philosophy of I own the console. It's my physical property. I should be able to do whatever I want with it. And if I am doing illegal things, then use the court system as it is. Don't be breaking my machine. I just find that completely unethical and complete BS.
Well, my question is, what happens if it's an oops-a-daisy, like some indie game that you bought legit through the system, and maybe there was an update that corrupted something and it made it look like something else?
Whoa. A false positive? That would never happen, sir.
I know. What? False positive?
What are you talking about, bro?
Never happens. Never happens at all.
Or a bad actor figures out a way to leverage this basically kill switch on your Switch.
That's true.
I mean, that's the fear with backdoor encryptions, is that once you do allow that vector of attack, someone's going to eventually figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is just a bad precedent. It's Nintendo, so I can't say I'm surprised. And it easily could get misused at the same time.
Yeah.
Just look at, how the DMCA on Facebook and YouTube and all those get misused and abused all the time. So yeah, this is, and it's also, let's be honest, it's also not going to affect Nintendo's bottom line, because this is one of those topics that like 99% of people don't even know is an issue.
Right.
So like in the end, it's not going to affect Nintendo's bottom line. It's not going to even affect their sales. But it doesn't mean that still, I think, is a terrible precedent and definitely not a fan of it.
All right, let's go positive here, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, there is currently a Kickstarter project that has 14 days left. They have not quite reached their goal. They're still, let's see if I can do math in my head here, $763 short of their goal. But I can promise you that anything that comes out of this developer's, shop is worth getting, and that, of course, is the latest and greatest Nerdburger Games game called Slay to Win. And I'm going to... and Zealeus beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
When you started talking about it, I'm like, I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Real quick, Slay to Win is a fast play 3 to 5 player monster hunting fantasy card game with a touch of light optional role playing. It's intended for teens and older players. In the game, you and your companion strike out to save your kingdom from the monsters who threaten its people. But each of you also secretly wants to go down in history as the greatest monster hunter of all time. And that means you need to score the killing blows against the monsters to gain as many trophy points as possible. At the end of the game, or a longer campaign for multiple games, whoever has the most trophy points becomes forever known as the greatest monster hunter who ever lived. Team up, but also go it alone when needed, so you can slay to win.
We all want to win.
I, of course, have already backed this. I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw it, as soon as it went live, I was like, back! Because, gosh darn it, I love me some Nerdburger games. And if I was available, I would be playing some Nerdburger games this weekend. Or at Southern Fried Gaming in mid-June. I was really hoping I could make that, but I can't. Yeah.
Darn you, real life.
Yes, real life for the loss. But seriously, like the games that Craig Campbell, the creator, the mastermind behind Nuremberg Games, has made, you can't go wrong. So, what's the you could donate $1 to help out because you believe in it. But what's the other?
So you have $15, which is the PDF version, so you get that version.
Yep.
$25, you get the physical copy. So for only another $10, you get the physical copy. So if you want that, a $10 premium, that's well worth the price of a nice hardback copy, in my opinion. An interesting share. I've never seen this one before. So for $30, you can get the retail back version where you basically get 3 copies, and then there's like a
that's for brick and mortar stores only.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting idea. I appreciate the creativity. Now, if you want to check some of the other Nerdburger games for $75, you still get the physical copy of Slate of Wit, but you also get the PDF copies of Good Strong Hands, What is Light Without Dark, Secrets of Vibrant Isle, and The Secrets of a Vibrant Sea.
Yes.
And you can also get the Fantasy Fun Pack, which is the copy of Slate of Wit plus the soft cover and PDF copies of the aforementioned copies.
Mm-hmm. And if I've already have, I don't think I have the What is Light Without Darkness. I do have Good Strong Hands. I would show it to you, but as I've stated at the beginning of the show, the office is still a working project, and I don't know if I actually have access to those books right now. Because of the wonderful flooding that occurred in my basement,
yes,
shit moved around to try to keep it dry, and those things that were unable to keep dry have now gone to the landfill in the sky.
Oh no!
Yes, it's very sad. But yeah. Sorry, I'm updating this my list here since I forgot about something. Oh shit, look at that. Oh, that's what that card was for. Sorry. I was actually keeping a running tally on the back of my topics card of how many Funko Pops I own. And I was wrong about the number of Funko Pops I own because I thought, it's probably about 280. It's not 280.
372.
No, it's 359.
I was terrifyingly close.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for
Funko Pops?
Funko Pops. Yeah. I might have too many, and I might have to downsize. I don't know how to downsize Funko Pops, but I'll probably have to figure it out. So,
burn them.
Huh?
Burn them.
No, I'm not gonna burn them.
You say you don't have them. That's an option. I'm just saying.
Zealeus, no, I am not going to destroy them. I was hoping to try to sell them.
That would be probably the better option, but yes. I'm just saying there's always options.
Anyways, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pause for just a second to give a shout out to all those individuals who help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore, and that, of course, are friends of the show. So to start off, let's go with the Indie Cluster, which, of course, is at MomoCon right now. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout-out we got to give is to the AV master himself. That, of course, is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously Whack Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. The next shout out we got to give is to a gentleman who is actually at my house today to help alleviate those aches and pains from long gaming sessions or just life in general, and that, of course, is Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They're committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make the plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the music maestro, and that, of course, is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alter Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. And the final shout out we got to give is to the original backer on Patreon of Alter Confusion. That, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both the development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings, and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com. Now, I know at this very moment in time, you've got to be asking yourself, how do I become a friend of the show? Well, it's quite simple, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is follow me. Ladies and gentlemen, Alter Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, mummies, werewolves, vampires, swamp creatures, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have 2 tiers that you can pledge at. These are monthly tiers. You got the $1 a month. That's $1 a month or $12 a year. And what they get you is early access to all of our playthroughs, which, of course, right now is the Expanse of Telltale series, but it will be switching over soon to a game called Tacoma. And you'll also be able to participate in patron-only posts. Now, if you're feeling extra fisky, and this is where you would become a friend of the show, you do the $5 a month. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. What that gets you is everything at the $1 tier, and, of course, your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday night Hangout. Ladies and gentlemen, it's $5 a month. That's like less than a fancy coffee. I think we could do it. All right, so anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to become a patron of Alter Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/altered confusion today. Now, since we're doing that shout out, we got to do the shout out that we love to do, and I take great, joy in doing this. Ladies and gentlemen, Alter Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 14 years straight. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital. The money that we, Alter Confusion, raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion today. And apparently, Zealeus' link was wrong.
It's correct now, though.
Okay, it's correct now. But
it's been corrected. I have fixed the error of my ways.
Huzzah, huzzah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that there's some always questions about how do I get my hands on some sweet Alter Confusion merch. Perhaps like the hat I'm wearing. Or perhaps you want one of these lovely coffee mugs. Or you're just looking to get one of these lovely vinyl stickers. Well, I know how to get them, and I'm going to tell you right now. What you got to do is you go to alteredconfusion.tv/merch. That's MERCH. and you get the whole list of items that you can purchase, either in bulk or one by one. Up to you. I'm not going to pressure you towards anything, but I personally have at least 2 hats. I've got these vinyl. I've got 1, 2. I think I've got 3 vinyl stickers already in use, and I've got a 4th one right here. And of course, my coffee mug does not get used for coffee, but hot chocolate. Oh, I totally forgot about the pet food bowl, which I would bring down here, but the dogs would get really angry at me because that is one of the food bowls that they use regularly, and they'd either get really angry or confused, thinking that they're going to get more food, and they've already been fed tonight, so that bowl will stay exactly where it is.
It sounds like someone needs to order more dog bowls.
Perhaps, who knows? Who knows?
You need them for dog bowls, you need them for cereal bowls, you need them for soup bowls, you need them to put bowls over your head so you can give your kids bowl cuts. There's so many options.
I know those bowls are a little small for bowl cuts unless you're doing it on babies.
You're saying maybe they'll just have really short hair. They'll look like a fryer then.
Or maybe one of those like toy-sized dogs. You could give them a bowl cut.
Oh, that's just weird. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Hey, it could be done, Zealeus. It could be done.
I'll let you try shaving the dog and see how it goes.
Oh, I have before. It was an experience.
I will take your word for it.
Okay, so let's get back into the news, shall we?
Always.
The most expensive PC game to ever be in existence, Star Citizen, is for a limited time free to play. Now, the only problem is, can your system handle it? And the short answer is, it's a coin toss. It really is.
I mean, the real question is there a game to actually play?
Aha. Yes, that too is quite the question.
And a game to play that won't, even though it's free to play, is it going to cost you a mortgage, your first child, your second and third pets, your mortgage, and your retirement to actually be able to have a functioning ship, I guess?
Yeah. Stop, Sam. And you're right, Sam. I believe Zealeus' system could handle it. Mine probably would choke and die, even though I am one of the paying people. I, once upon a time, long time ago, apparently dropped $125 on Star Citizen.
I feel like you booted it up for Extra Life like a year or 2 ago, and like you basically couldn't play it.
Oh, I like tried to crash my computer. It definitely could not stream it and play at the same time. Playing it just by itself did not really work either. So
not only do we need to have a game where it's like they've raised $800 million and it's run by microtransactions, it's probably like the worst optimized game in the history of mankind.
Yeah, basically. So, but anyways, you for a limited time can it started May 15th and it will go to the 27th. So you still got 5 days.
Like, I'm intrigued by Star Citizen, but at the same time, I'm just like, nah.
I don't know if I don't know what the hell they're doing with it now. Because remember, when they started really pulling in the bucks, they created like a ton of satellite studios, and then they were like, "Oh my God, we can't pay all these people because it turns out that we have operation costs that also have to be factored in, and we don't want to completely die."
Well, okay, so I was super excited for a moment because I'm like, oh, they have a guide on how to play the game, but like I can't get the guide to actually do anything. Like there's no actual guide. Like there's topics, but like I want to learn the beginning basics.
Yeah.
No. There's no basics to learn apparently.
Ladies and gentlemen, just real quick, you may notice in the chat a gentleman just chopped in saying that he forgot that Star Citizen existed. That's Hero Chiropractic right there. That dude right there. Just want to shout out again. Anyways, although the game can technically run on lower end machines, it's famously CPU heavy, RAM hungry, and almost allergic to hard drives. If you're running this from anything but an SSD, don't bother. This is what the article says.
Wait, okay, to be fair, it's 2025. You should be running your damn games on SSD nowadays. Yes, I'm sorry. That is a hill I'm willing to fight on.
Can a laptop run this?
It depends. Do you want to get second-degree burns on your thighs if it's sitting on your legs?
Ooh, buddy, it's got to be at least third-degree burns.
It could be a good internal space heater if you lose, like, heat, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so... But anyways, if you want to play it, or, I don't know, let it take up a huge chunk of your hard drive, and you could try to boot it, and maybe it will work. Who knows? You have until the 27th to take it for a spin. Okay. Now, I know that we talked about this earlier, or we hinted at, the rise in prices and companies shuttering, and I think that the last time we actually did the show, we talked about how certain board game creators are either no longer shipping their games to the U.S. or they are shuttering their doors because they can't afford it. There is also a lawsuit that is circulating with, I don't know how many different companies are now attached to this lawsuit. What I can tell you is that there's a couple of juggernauts that are attached to it. They are suing the President of the United States. Basically, it's all in response to the tariffs because, fun fact, if you don't know, the vast majority of physical games, books, game pieces, dice, boards, character sheets, all that stuff, it gets mass produced in China and then comes over here. And when you put a nasty 145%, I think, is that it, or have we changed it again? I think at one point it was 145% tariff that was being imposed. Yeah, that's going to affect a lot of companies.
I'm already impressed by the historic increase in production in the United States of board games, right?
Now, Craig Campbell of Nerdburger Games has also made a statement about this as well. He said Nerdburger Games is located in the U.S. Slay to Win, the game that I'm telling you need to kickstart if you haven't already, will be manufactured outside the U.S. There's a great deal of uncertainty surrounding the tariff situation in the U.S., but fear not. We have quotes from multiple manufacturers in different countries. We will make the final call on which one to go with when it comes time to get the game manufactured. Tariffs are something we've accounted for, and we don't expect them to impact you or you're receiving the game. Like I said, Craig Campbell he knows his shit, okay? He knows how to do this. So support the shit out of him.
Yep. He's somebody who would know really how it's going to affect you, for sure.
Wait, Switch 2 is Vietnam? Really? Interesting.
I don't actually know. Never really pay attention. I know a lot of my clothes are made in Vietnam.
I know that a bunch of the stuff that the president tries to hawk is made in China, so that's fun.
Whoa. That doesn't sound very American.
Anyways. No, but seriously, it's really sad to see all these amazing No more gaming in the free world till Mango Man leaves office. Yeah.
No,
Well,
see, I'm gaming in the free world because it's my way to escape from the craziness that's happening in the real world.
yes, the
That's my fault.
escapism is becoming more and more needed in our daily lives. Now, of course, it's going to cost us an arm and an effing leg to escape, but speaking of gaming, I did complete Avowed with the bad lip sync and all. It was I posted a review, so if you want to look at it, go to alterconfusion.com. And I've now, of course, transitioned over to Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. This was the game that we talked about, I don't know, like a month ago, where the game wasn't out, but there was already a streaming service that was like, we're making a TV show out of this. And I thought, oh my God, this is stupid. This is insane. How do you know this is going to be a success? After playing 15 hours of this game, I'm like, holy shit, yes, this should be, they've got so much meat on them bones to make a show. Their show could revolve around previous expeditions. Expedition 33 is the name of the specific expedition that is going to try to kill or destroy an individual called the Paintress. And I'm not going to give any more away, but I know that Ryan Moore was in my stream on Tuesday and was there for the big-ass twist that about floored me. Anything and everything you think this game is going to do or what is going to happen, you're probably wrong, because I've been seriously wrong a couple times.
I've been playing it, and I'm not as far as you.
Yeah.
But as a normal turn-based player hater, it's a fantastic game. I totally knocked the difficulty down to the easy mode. Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
It makes because they're also then the quick time events, and I suck at parrying, but it makes it tolerable.
I've given up on parrying. I'm just dodging now.
Until you get to one of the so I will spoiler. There are side optional bosses.
Yes.
So I'll be playing, and I'm thinking, man, I'm actually kind of good at this game. I could probably turn the difficulty up. And then I get to one of the side bosses. I'm like, fuck this. I'm terrible at the game again.
There are certain bosses out there that will absolutely destroy you, that you have access to early on. But if you're stupid enough to battle them, you're going to almost be one hit.
And that's what I've done. And that's where I'm like, and I'm going back.
Yeah, there's this weird, pink fleeced lamb looking thing that I tried and got massacred. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to stick to the main story for a bit, and then maybe I'll come back and see where I can go.
The nice thing is the bosses are harder, but they're not like the side bosses.
Right.
So I'm like, okay.
Ryan says that it's his game of the year, and to be honest with you, right now it's my game of the year too. I mean, this thing is freaking solid. I'm so emotionally invested in all the characters. Yes, we're talking about the Danger Caves.
And I'm not. It's one of the very few games where I just want to explore.
Yeah.
And normally I hate exploration in games, but I just want to go around and see everything there is in the game.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's
good.
It's a great game. Definitely highly recommend it.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I did buy it basically day one or two, it was what, 45 or $50.
Yeah.
So, the $80 price tag, I'm good.
Yep.
But when it's, less than the new price of a AAA title, that definitely makes it a more palatable choice.
Agreed. And just, first of all, the voice acting cast is pretty damn incredible. And just the story.
And the music. The music is so good.
I'm trying. Oh yeah, that too. I'm trying really, really hard not to. Ryan says it's a testament to how beautiful the art is, the desire to explore. it's going to be really, really hard for me to, when we end this Thursday night hangout, for me not to just turn it back on and me to play.
Yeah, it is beautiful, Ryan, but it's also, there's something about the story that does pull me in.
Yep.
Where it's beautiful, but I also want to just know more. Like in
Yeah.
Medium, like I want to know everything there is to know about this.
Yes. And because just the whole, I don't know, the vibe of the game, I want to explore to find as much stuff as possible so that my chance of basically surviving increases.
Yeah,
Ryan says that they found the main musician on SoundCloud.
I did see that. Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
The only thing I dislike is, and I know it was intentional design choice, I read about it, is the lack of mini map.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
And I know it's intentional because their statement is it adds to the immersion of the game, which I'm like, okay, I get.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm like, you could have given me a map. That would be my only pet peeve.
I really, there are certain there are certain times where I get turned around and I'm like, oh, I really wish I could just point me in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah, because some of the maps, like everywhere you look, it looks identical.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets hard to keep track of where was I.
But at the same time, what I've done now, and this is not a spoiler, but there's going to be times where you're going to be like an overworld type situation where you can view like a world map.
True.
Even if it's a danger location, and when you play the game, you'll understand what I mean by danger location. Because when you go to the portal to go to that place, it'll say danger on it. I'm literally just going in and then popping back out just so that I have the name of the area. Yes, and the patanks are nerve-wracking. They're these there's these guys that basically run away from you constantly, but you've got to kind of like corral them to these stones that have these special runes on them, and they'll lock them into place. But then at the same time, you have one chance to attack it. If you attack and fail, he escapes, then he disappears. So be on the lookout. But yeah. I mean, we could probably do an entire Thursday night hangout about this game.
Yes.
Though it's very difficult for me to like. There's so many twists that I want to talk about, but I don't want to ruin it for anyone.
Yep. No, I hear that.
So, but yeah. Trying to think if there's any other topics. I don't think I have any other topics. Zealeus, do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I'm sure there's more. I just can't think of it.
Ryan asked, what's the next game you guys are looking for? To be honest with you, I can't see past Expedition 33 right now. If I were to go back through some of the games I have in my Steam library, actually, I feel like there's a Switch game that I want. Oh, wait. There's still part of me that wants to do Suikoden 1 and 2 HD edition for the Switch. And probably focus on the second.
I saw the HD versions.
Yeah. If I do that, I think that if I go that route, I'll probably play the second one since that's the only Suikoden I have yet to beat. I've played through every other Suikoden.
I will go back to playing when I get back in town. It's called Sloremancer. It's a ARPG with pixel art. Mm-hmm. And the gameplay loop is really good at the characters. So if you're into those kind of games, highly recommend it. It's really fun.
Well, there's a game that I'll pick up because I can quickly pick it up and then drop it, It's not all that time consuming. It's called Die in the Dungeon. As you may know, if you might have figured out, die as in dice. The game's mechanics are basically completely revolving around dice. There are different. There's a 3-sided die. There's a 6-sided die, and there's an 8-sided die.
How does the 3-sided die work?
Huh?
How does the 3-sided dice work?
Sorry, 4.
Okay.
I'm an idiot. In my brain, I'm going, that doesn't sound right.
It's a video game, so anything's possible, but I'm just trying to conceptualize it.
It's a 2-sided die. No. So you've got your different types of dice. You've got your attack dice, your defense die. You got some healing dice. You've got multiplier dice, all that stuff. It's a cool game. I don't know how much it is, but I got the. There's a free demo. Is called Die in the Dungeons Origins, which kind of gives you like a taste, and then if you want to go all in, you can get Die in the Dungeon. But
it is always nice to have a demo to know, like, is this a game I'm going to actually like?
But the way that they did Die in the Dungeon Origins was they just took one character and they gave you like a run of, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 areas, but oh God, Zealeus said that's why I have an inventory of 42 games that have never been touched.
Because we talk about the prices.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have to buy games. I can just look at my untouched inventory like Titanfall 2 we were just talking about.
Oh, Lord. How do we find... God, I can never remember. How do you find how many games you have?
You should just say in your library the number of actual games you have.
Yeah, I know. I'm hit home. Recent games. All games. Nope.
Yeah. 211 in my actual inventory.
Oh, if I turn off the... There we go. If I turn that off. Oh, Jesus. Do we really want to go down this road, Zealeus?
418.
699.
Okay, I was way off.
It's once I turned off the show only ready to play games, because my ready to play games I've got 68, which seems reasonable, but I have 699 of them total. But some of them shouldn't count. Like, it's a public test of a system.
Sure. Probably like 10.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, whatever, Zealeus. Come on, man. But, Zealeus, you around next Thursday?
I will be looking at icebergs.
Wait, you're not gonna be here next Thursday?
Correct. I will be looking at icebergs.
Ah, yes. Okay, well, that will work perfectly because we would have to push back the Thursday night hangout anyways. So we'll have to wait another 2 weeks. Oh,
it's 2 weeks too long, man.
2 weeks too long, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have unfortunately reached the end of our show. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure getting ready to come our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back in 2 weeks for another Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. Oh, crap. I forgot to put... I wrote this in the multi-stream chat, so it's going to... It spit out the response in all 3 of them. I forgot about that.
That's fine. We're just giving extra thanks.
Extra thanks. Because that's how we roll.
Thanks in triplicate. It's like an old carbon copy system.
Yeah, buddy. I did find... let me hit this. There we go. long time ago, Charlie was the Kickstarter like crazy man, and he was like kickstarting every like shit left to right. I finally got another one of my Kickstarter things.
Which is?
It is called. I'm trying to see when it actually. When I actually put money towards it. Okay, so this was October 2021. And I just got it last week, and it's called Chew, the role-playing game. Chew is it's a phenomenal graphic novel.
Okay.
The main character is a gentleman that can basically, if he chews on something, he could tell you the entire history of it.
Nom, nom, nom.
So he's a detective. So guess what he does to solve cases?
Chews on bones.
He has to chew on body parts.
Yummy.
Uh-huh. Oh, I got that one too. Did I get that one? Yeah, I got that one. And I got this one. And I got that one. And that one. Sorry, I'm going through all my... Did I get that one? Shit. I'm looking at all of the... Huh. Yeah, I backed way too many projects. I think in total I've backed 73 projects.
That's a lot.
Yes. Got that one. I'm just trying to...
I've backed 4.
Uh-huh. Are they all Nerdburger games?
3 are, and 1 was Andocon.
Oh, that's right.
Okay,
right.
so this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was Andocon 2018, and it was marked as received February 11th, 2021.
Huh.
It's got humors.
Nice. I'm looking at over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, actually, out of 73 projects, only 6 of them have still left me high and dry.
Actually, not bad.
Well, I got smart. I started back at things that I figured were actually going to happen, like the 5-book full set for John Hartness, Patrick Dugan, and Darren Kennedy, who were all at Chattacon, not this past year, but the previous year, and I actually talked to them, and they were super duper excited about it. So, yeah. Anyways. But, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to end the stream. I'll talk to Zealeus offline real quick, but everyone have a fun night. Game. Escape from reality.